Hey guys, so here we're going to be talking about what gradient is and how to find it. So first of all, what is gradient? Gradient is a measure of how steep a line is. So if we look at these three examples down here, this first chap on the left in green has a positive gradient, but it's not very steep, so we'd say it has quite a gentle gradient. The red guy in the middle is a lot steeper. So he has a higher gradient by it being steeper, and then the third guy on the right that's going down from left to right, that chap has a negative gradient. So the two on the first two are both positive, the third one is a negative gradient. Now gradient can also be referred to as a rate of change, because you're finding how fast the value of y changes over a certain amount of x distance. So it's a rate of change. Okay. So, hopefully most of you have seen the general equation of a straight line. Y equals mx plus c. Now there's two important parts to y equals mx plus c. We've got m, which is the gradient. And we've also got c, which is the y-intercept. But we're not going to worry about that in this lesson. We'll do that in a separate video. So we're looking for m. Okay, now the formula. If you have two sets of coordinates, so here x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. Now the 1s and 2s there don't mean anything mathematical, they're just labelled. So x1 and y1 are our first set of coordinates, x2 and y2 are our second set. Then we find the gradient by doing y2 take away y1 divided by x2 take away x1. Or you can do y1 take away y2 over x1 take away x2. It doesn't matter which coordinate you take away from the other, but you have to do it the same way. So if we do y2 take away y1, we have to do x2 take away x1. We can't do x1 take away x2. You can't mix and match. Now that probably looks quite scary in algebraic, with all the x1s and y1s, etc. There's probably a bit of a simpler way to think about it, and that's in thinking of it as the difference in y divided by the difference in x. And then you can simplify that down a little bit more to dy over dx. Now that ties into something that you will see if you go on to do further maths or A-level maths, called differentiation, which is to do with finding the gradients of curves. But I think that's probably the nice, simplest way to think of gradient. The difference in y over the difference in x, dy over dx. Okie dokie, let's have a go at doing some. So, question 1, we got two coordinates, 1, 2 and 3, 10. So I've used blue and red here so that we can clearly see which coordinate belongs to which set of coordinates. So, question 1, the first way, we've done y2 take away y1, 10 take away 2, and that's given us 8 on top, and then 3 take away 1 on the bottom, that's given us a fraction, 8 divided by 2, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Or just to show you that it doesn't matter which way around we do it, we could also have done 2 take away 10 over 1 take away 3. That gives us minus 8 over minus 2, which is also equal to 4. Now the reason of those two, I would recommend you do it the first way, purely to avoid negative numbers wherever you can. I find negative numbers cause a lot of problems. Okay, question 2. So this time I'm only doing it the one way to avoid negative numbers. So if we look at question 2, then we've done 19 take away 7, which is 12, and 6 take away 4, which is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the gradient in number 2 is 6. Okay, question 3. So we've got some negative coordinates thrown in here. So this time we've done minus 9 minus minus 1 over 5 minus 1. Now the bottom's a bit simpler. 5 minus 1 is 4. Now on the top, when we've done minus 9 minus minus 1, remember a double negative like that becomes a positive. So that's actually minus 9 add 1, which is why we've got that minus 8 up on top. Now minus 8 divided by 4 is minus 2. Question 4. Okay, so this time we're going to get negatives however we play it, same as above. So we've gone for y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. So 5 minus 25 gives us minus 20 on top. 0 minus minus 4 on the bottom. Again, remember a double negative gives us a positive, so 0 minus minus 4 is the same as 0 plus 4. So we end up with minus 20 over 4, which is minus 5. And then question 5, 1, 5 and 5, 8. This is a bit different again. We're going to end up with a fractional gradient. Don't worry if that happens. It does happen. So 8 take away 5 up on top gives us 3, and 5 take away 1 on the bottom gives us 4. Now that gives us a gradient of 3/4. So my advice would be, if you get a fractional gradient, leave it as a fraction. Decimals are a little bit harder to play with. You might not believe me at the moment, but the higher up you get in maths, the more useful fractions become. So my absolute advice would be to leave it as 3/4, although you can convert it if you really want to 0.75. Okay, so that's how we find the gradient between 2 points. What happens if we're given a graph like this chap here then, and we're asked to find the gradient from him? So what we want to do is find 2 points with whole number coordinates that the line goes through. So for example, we've got this point up here on the y-axis, and I'm getting my handwriting involved here, I'm sorry. So this coordinate up here has 0.02, and we've got another chap down here whose coordinate is -1, -1. So as soon as we've got those 2 coordinates from our graph, we're playing exactly the same game as we just have been. So we could work out m by doing 2 minus minus 1 over 0 minus minus 1. I do apologise for the handwriting. So up on top, 2 minus minus 1 is 2 plus 1, so that's going to give us 3. And on the bottom, 0 minus minus 1 is going to give us positive 1. 3 divided by 1 gives us a gradient of 3. Okay, let's have a look at another. So this time, let's use this coordinate down here. So that's -2, 0. And let's use this coordinate here, which is 2, 2. Okay, so this time we could go 2 take away 0 divided by 2 minus minus 2. Now up on top, 2 take away 0 is 2, and on the bottom, 2 minus minus 2 is 2 plus 2, which is going to give us 4. Now 2 over 4 simplifies to a half. So again, we've got a fractional gradient. I would recommend leaving it as a fraction. If you really wanted to though, you could also say that that's 0.5. Okay, one more. So again, same setup, let's find 2 coordinate points. So let's go for this chap down here. So he's got coordinate 1 minus 3. And which other points we go to? I should stress, it doesn't matter at all what points you choose, not even a bit. So let's also go for this guy here, which is minus 1, 1. Okay, so this time we could do minus 3 minus 1 all over 1 minus minus 1. So the top will give us minus 3 minus 1 would take us down to minus 4. And then on the bottom, 1 minus minus 1 is going to give us 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then minus 4 divided by 2 gives us minus 2. So we've got a negative gradient, which we expected, because the line is going down from left to right. Okay guys, so I'm going to do another video with questions for you to try yourself with the answers as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Feel free to request any lessons that you want. And again, I apologise for my handwriting. Hopefully I'll get used to writing with a stylus sooner or later. Cheers!